Samantha and James had been married for 5 years. At the start, their life together was full of promise and joy. They had met in college, and their connection had felt effortless. Their friends envied the bond they shared, and even their families could see the deep love between them. But life, as it often does, introduced obstacles. James worked long hours in a corporate job, often leaving early in the morning and returning late at night. Samantha, a stay-at-home writer, began to feel isolated in their large house. She yearned for more attention, conversation, and excitement that seemed to have slipped away. It was at a local bookstore cafe that she met Tom, a charming and attentive man who shared her love for literature. They started talking about their favorite books, and before long, these casual encounters turned into regular meetups. Tom seemed to understand her in ways that James hadn't for a while. They began spending more time together, first for coffee, then for dinners, and soon long walks through the city parks. Samantha convinced herself it was harmless, a way to break free from the monotony of her daily routine. But as time went on, the chemistry between her and Tom grew undeniable. What started as emotional attraction slowly transformed into a physical affair. Samantha found herself torn between the guilt she felt for betraying James and the passion she felt with Tom. One night, after a particularly passionate encounter with Tom, Samantha returned home to James. She stood in front of the mirror, staring at her reflection, as the weight of her actions settled heavily in her chest. She didn't know how she could continue living this double life, but she felt trapped. James, meanwhile, had noticed the change in his wife. Her distance, her reluctance to talk about her day, the late nights out. He had sensed something was off, but the thought of betrayal was too painful to entertain. He loved Samantha deeply, but their connection had been fraying for months, and he wasn't sure how to repair it. It all came to a head one night when Samantha received a message from Tom while James was in the next room. James walked in on her reading the text, his heart sinking as he saw the smile on her face. "Who is he?" James asked quietly, though his voice trembled with a mix of hurt and confusion. Samantha's face flushed, and in that moment, all the secrets she had kept hidden bubbled to the surface. I'm so sorry, James," she whispered, unable to hold back the tears. "I don't know how it happened. I never meant to hurt you." James stared at her, his heart aching. The betrayal cut deeper than he ever could have imagined. He had loved her with every part of himself, and now, it felt like everything they had built together had crumbled. Over the following days, the two of them barely spoke. The silence was deafening. Samantha had to come to terms with the fact that she had destroyed something beautiful, and James was forced to confront the reality of her unfaithfulness. In the end, both of them had to make a choice. Could their marriage be salvaged, or was it beyond repair? Samantha's affair with Tom had forced them to face the cracks in their relationship that neither had been willing to acknowledge before. They would have to decide whether they could rebuild their love, or if it was time to walk away. This is just one way to explore the dynamics of infidelity. It highlights the emotional journey both partners go through when trust is broken, as well as the consequences of neglecting the core of a relationship.